offered unsolicited advice only for that advice to backfire in your face and you keep on asking yourself, not even why was I offering that advice in the beginning? Now what made me even open my mouth and offer people advice that they didn't even need? Yes, that's what I thought about when I read these Proverbs. Proverbs 26 verse 17. He who passes by and meddles in a quarrel not his own is like one who takes a dog by the ears. Minding your own business is so important because I have seen or experienced cases where you have seen two couples fighting. They are at each other's neck. They are arguing about who did this, who did that, who's unfair. And as a friend who's just there, seated, minding their own business, you decide, you know what? I think I can give advice to this couple because they're just fighting and eating at each other. And you know what? Let me help them settle out their situation. So you go as a good friend that you are and decide, you know what? This your marriage can become better if one of you decides to listen to the other. You know what, your husband, if you decide to respect your husband, if you decide, you know what, love your wife, and you're there giving advice, marriage counselor of the city. And as you go on, you feel, you know what, this advice was great. And you stop for a second to stop. But then later in the night, when two lovers meet in the night and discuss their situation and mend up their issues and sort out their issues, whoa, lo and behold, when the enemy becomes Mawia, the person who decided to offer their advice when they were not asked for. And now it becomes, you know what, Mawia doesn't want good for my marriage. She doesn't want us to prosper. She just wants me to hate my husband. And how that story turns out. You who decided to not mind your own business and move along, but decided to meddle in the affairs of others, or how you are married into a family and there's this land dispute that is happening in your family. And you know what, mother, brother, they are arguing about a situation, they are fighting over land, and in your wisdom, you've studied law and you decide, you know what, I can offer my advice as a lawyer, my unsolicited advice as a lawyer. And you decide to give your opinion on who is the one who deserves to have this land because maybe a will was not left behind, or maybe because so and so many cases, of land issues. And as you open your unsolicited, and as you give your unsolicited advice, it ends up that you picked one person over the other. And now you end up being in a family, married into a family where now you're hated, where now you are looked down upon, not because you didn't have a genuine view or love for the person, but you just honestly just opened your mouth to a situation that was intense, a situation that is filled with so much emotion, a land case that has been going on for 10 years, 15 years, even before you came into the scene. And that advice that you felt was genuine, that you felt was coming from a good place, ends up exploding. And that's what the Bible is warning us about, that sometimes don't meddle in issues that are not your own. Don't meddle in quarrels that are not yours. Your mother's father's quarrels. You're driving in town and then two people have hit each other. The police is not there, so you decide, you know what, I can assist this person. Maybe this person is the wrong, this one, and eventually a blow is punched, something happens, and someone is on the ground. Now the case of a car accident has turned to an assault case. You're in the middle of it, and you're just wondering, now how did I get myself here? In Kenya, we call it kiherehere mob. You have so much not minding your own issue, so you just always want to offer advice. But let me tell you, keep your advice sometimes to yourself. Seek wisdom. Know when it's the right time to offer it and when it's not the right time to offer. When it's the right time to enter into other people's businesses, when it's not. But especially cases for couples, cases for families, it's always wise when you just take a neutral ground in that situation, because family members will always forgive each other. Married couples will always forgive each other. But you who offered unsolicited advice, will end up being the enemy in this situation, and it's just not worth it. So the take home, when you see two people who love each other, uh, land cases, situations that are intense in families, seek wisdom. Ask God to guide you to just be able to pass by and mind your own business. Remember, he who passes by and meddles in a quarrel not his own is like one who takes a dog by the ears, someone who's looking for trouble, someone who is looking to be beaten, someone who is looking to have a fight that is unnecessary. In the year, as the year begins, 2023, just mind your own peace. Keep your peace, guard it with all diligence, because you know what, issues will crop up in offering unsolicited advice. Thank you so much for always tuning in to listen to my stories, my ramblings, my lessons from my favorite book, the book of Proverbs. And I hope that as I share these stories, you are becoming empowered to thrive in your life and to have a peaceful year as we move along.